Then she started to return with her daughters-in-law from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab that the Lord had considered his people and given them food. Ruth chapter 1, verse 6.
Although the Bible did not describe the journey from Moab back to Bethlehem, it was indeed a difficult road. This area is the southern border of ancient Moab, called Wadi Zered. On the other side of the Wadi is Edom. If Naomi and Ruth started off from here for Bethlehem, they would have had to climb over that mountain, head north across the plateau of Moab. Then cross the Arnon River. Climb over Mount Nebo. Get down from the plateau. "400 meters below sea level to the valley where the Jordan River enters into the Dead Sea." They would have had to cross the Jordan River from its east bank, through the bushes in the riverbed, cut through Jericho. Climb up onto the rugged Judea wilderness and walk there for 30 kilometers. To reach a mountainous terrain 700 meters high. And get to their destination, Bethlehem. This 100 to 200 kilometer arduous journey could take more than a month.
Besides the difficulty and safety concerns in her homeward journey, Naomi also could suffer public disgrace. 10 years ago, when she left Bethlehem, her family had been prominent and well-to-do. Now that she became a penniless widow, facing the folks in her hometown would be tough.
Nevertheless, I really respect Naomi. When she heard that God blessed her homeland again, she felt God's calling and decided to return to Bethlehem. So some say that Naomi is like a prodigal daughter in Old Testament times.
As expected, when she returned to Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them. And the women said, "Is this Naomi?" Ruth chapter 1, verse 19. Naomi told the surprised women, "Call me no longer Naomi, call me Mara. For the Almighty has dealt bitterly with me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. The Lord has dealt harshly with me, and the Almighty has brought calamity upon me." Ruth chapter 1, verse 20 and 21.
Naomi had a broken and contrite heart. She acknowledged being disciplined by God. Better still, her heart was so filled with God's love that she was considerate of others. As Naomi was getting old and poor, wouldn't it be nice to have her 2 young daughters-in-law to support her? But instead, on their way back to Bethlehem, Naomi told her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's house. May the Lord deal kindly with you." Ruth chapter 1, verse 8. In ancient society, sending them back to their mother's house shows how much Naomi cared about Orpah and Ruth. Rather than burdening them, she let them go so that they could remarry. Naomi further wished God to deal kindly with the daughters-in-law as her goodwill for them to receive God's love and mercy.
Touched by Naomi, Orpah and Ruth wept aloud and refused to leave. The in-laws had a wonderful relationship, but eventually Orpah decided to stay in Moab. What made her change her mind? We can find out from what Naomi said to Ruth after Orpah's departure. See, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. Ruth chapter 1, verse 15.
So we see, even though Orpah had married into Naomi's family, she still believed in Chemosh, the idol of Moab. So she lost the greatest blessing, and her name was not mentioned again. But Ruth made a different decision for her life. She replied to Naomi,
Do not press me to leave you or to turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die. There will I be buried. May the Lord do thus and so to me, and more as well, if even death parts me from you. Ruth chapter 1, verse 16 and 17.